Here. It's just my method of when I design and when I draw. Um, it's something that I just use now a lot more. It's a lot more triangles. Just to help me get what I want to create. It's a lot more triangles. And the reason is when you're doing three-sided shapes versus doing more sides, like if you're doing a four-sided shape, if you're doing a circle or an oval, there is no end to the piece of what you're drawing. There's no end point. There's just sides. Like circles and ovals are like more like infinite sizes, where triangles are exactly three. And this is why I've moved over to doing a lot more stuff with triangles versus other shapes. It allows you to block out a lot more. And create your image faster. The reason I do Alright, and this allows me to do one minor fix right now and push everything a little bit closer. Same thing with Sunder stuff. I get to push everything a little bit closer. So this is my latest piece for Sunder, and now you get to see. Like Ed Arts does a really cool design for this character. And allows a lot of easy breakdowns in shapes. If you're wondering, like the reason I do everything is, it's literally I'm pushing everything into a triangle. I'm pushing everything towards a triangle. Always three-sided shapes to help me create most structures that I want to create. Let's hit that. Yeah, what the heck is this? Twitch. So I should be online now. Yeah, so Sunder's almost done. And the way whenever I do CD pieces, I don't usually ink them. I just lay down the general shapes of what I want, and then I just rebuild the characters through color. I paint in their shapes and stuff like that. So all these lines are gonna give me a guideline for what I'm going to be able to do later. Um, let's just see. Just gonna write streaming. I usually try to do streaming, art, and gameplay. Yeah. Streams. the space between yuck, 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 yuck. And so I can get both together. Yeah. That's weird. How do I fix that? Let's look at general. Same issue. Let's just go to drop it in most of the chats too. I mean most of the servers that I'm in also. Just so people know. Just do that, and it's basically content creation. Get your content lab here, and I'll do this last one right there. Colors black. Triple A, content creation. Yeah, so what usually happens is in most places that I stream and in most of the servers, I'm basically, almost every other stream that you see is usually a stream that I've done. Like, somebody will stream and I'll stream after them. Somebody will stream and I'll stream after them. So it's just what happens over and over again. I just try to let people know, like, when I'm streaming. Because Sunder, like, the funniest thing I found out, like, in the last year, drawing this triangle method is, like, super big. This is from a guy who said, everything is triangles. Like, he was, like, making a, kind of like a joke about it. Like he's always playing this rough, tough, guy, artist, and he's always like berating you, but a lot of the information that this guy gives is actually really good. And he's the one who came up with the idea of the triangles. He like never use an oval when you're drawing a shape, go for triangles. And you're thinking, nah, that's a really bad idea, and you think it's silly until you Alright, not to the stream. I'm loving it. Did I put something over here? Content creation. I also want to put this in general. Where are you, general? Man, general is really hard to find here. Wow. Paste. There you go. Oh, paste it twice. Alright. And I'll do one last server. Where's general? Do they have a general? General chat, yes. And where have I put my stream. I don't even know. I have to copy it from another place because this does not have. That's weird. Let's reload that too. Okay, it's up to one. All right. So what I'm looking for is this address here, and I can go to general chat and drop it here. Take control V. Alright. So that's that. Alright, so back to creating Sunder. So the trick is, what I do is I look at basically stuff that EdArt has created, and then from there I can generally create my own rendition of Sunder based on that. And then you create shapes. This is like where a lot of times when people say like, Artie, like how do you, drawing is hard. It's simple shapes, and from the simple shapes you can actually then create really cool looking stuff. Same way, if I wanted to draw an eye, like I always like to show people this too. Like here's how fast it is to draw an eye. This is a friend of mine. It's like a brother who taught me this. If you ever want to draw an eye, right? That's an eye. That's literally a line, a dot, and another line. That's literally an eye. From that, I can actually draw something way more detailed. Based on that little object that you see I created first. So from a dot and a line and two lines, I can also create that kind of eye. If I just go back in some shapes, you just see what I basically did to add it. So that's literally the complexity of drawing. Like drawing is not super, super hard. There's always ways to do things really quick. It's just practicing and coming up with methods to let you do it. So like you're wondering like how would you draw Sunder's jaw? But instead of going super complex, Sunder's jaw is really two more triangles. If you really look at it, it's two more triangles right here. And the way I decide where I'm getting my pieces or my ideas from, so I'm going to bring this one under. So I'll just show it to you. So if you set his mouth up as these two triangles here, and then two small triangles here, there you go. That's the Sunder's mouth. So I got my two main triangles here, and I just have to drop my two small triangles in here, and that's it. So now I've set up his mouth. His tooths are really triangles also. So triangle, triangle. And what you start realizing is if you want to create depth, if you want to make things look smaller or bigger, depending how what's closer to the camera or further away from, or it's closer to your eye or further away from your eye, what you just start doing is you make things a little smaller the further away they get. And then that'll create the illusion of depth. And that's pretty much all it is. That's what makes certain drawings look like, wow, that's amazing. And other drawings look like, what's wrong with that? And you can't figure it out. 3D, making something look three-dimensional is literally making the things that are closer to you, to your eye, bigger, and the things that are slightly further away smaller. And that's pretty much the biggest trick. That's how you pull it off. It's pretty simple stuff. Like here, you're wondering, how do you do these shapes right here? Like these crystals are really hard. It's really two triangles, and I'll show you what I mean by that, right? You could just do them. What layer am I on? Why did this move? Yeah. So two triangles. One triangle here, and one triangle there. And if I want, I can do a third triangle there. Same shape, but I just broke it up into three triangles. And if I start adding in lines, That's pretty much it. I can always break it down to less shapes, or I can make it into multiple triangles. I can say 2 triangles also. So here's another way you could look at it. Why does it keep moving over? 2 triangles. 1 triangle here, 1 triangle there. This triangle, you cut this piece off. That's it. And then you just draw a line down. Same thing. Just depends how you want to do it. So everything can be created like super fast. So you can create your effects. So if we go with the 2 triangle method, which was pretty fast, cut that off right there. 2 triangles. Bring this line down over here. Add a little bit of detail here. And what I want to do is make this a little bit longer. And push this up a bit. So that's 1. And Sunder has 1, 2, 3. He has 4 triangles on top. 4 crystals on top. So there'll be 1. Let me just make sure. Yeah, I'm right. So we can just do triangle, triangle. You can do triangle, triangle. Same thing here too. Yeah, hello. Like I said, if you have questions about CB2, I can move over. This is just like my new CB piece that I'm working on right now. I haven't drawn in about a week. Really drawn. I've done some editing on a really cool image. The bee that you see at the side on my screen. But yeah. But like I said, if you have CB questions too, I can draw. But this is me generating a new Sunder pick. Ooh, another triangle, another set of triangles. So a triangle here. There. Like I'm running a new build right now. I went into protection. It's just the one thing about the current way the build is working and the way the game is set up, it gets really tiring playing the same thing over and over and over again. And like the thing for me is I have a really strong high level build that I can't use, and then working to level up my stuff, it's kind of frustrating. I'm playing really low level things and trying to get them to go up. Like one of the problems I find for the game is it's so dang hard to level things up after a certain point. It's just so hard. It is just so dang hard. And it's not like super fun to do. It's you're playing it, but you're just not like, oh, I can't wait to do more of this. Like it doesn't feel that way. You're just like, it's like you're trudging through it. It's like a big chore, like you don't really want to do, but it's the only thing you can do. So that it shouldn't feel like that, but that's kind of like what it feels like sometimes. So what I'll do is I'll personally just switch off the stuff that I'm working on. Like what I'm really trying to level up really fast is my new guns. 2 of my new guns. The Northern, sorry, not Northern North. The Wraith and the Mutiny Song. Ooh, he's got teeth in there. I never noticed that before. Sunder has teeth. A bunch of little triangles. Yeah, somebody was saying like they didn't like the art direction. Like one thing I can say I'll have to agree on with in the art with Catalyst Black is it tends to be on the bright side, and it's not a bad thing. It's just I know what some people say is like some the saturation on some of the maps is super high, like it's super bright. I think they can tone that down a little bit. Hey, have a good night. I think they can tone that down a little bit. All right, so that's one part of Sunder. So the trick is now we're gonna drop in his chest. I guess if we're gonna do shoulder, shoulder comes out to here. Oh, I got a way to do this. That'll be cool. I want to look nice. He does have like, somebody said like Sunder has kind of like T-Rex hands, and it kind of are small if you think about it. If you look at his hands, look at like this fur, but his hands are tiny. His hands are kind of tiny. Like they come out of these gigantic fur mittens, but they're like small if you really think about it. All right, so we got that part done. And his body, his lower half actually starts to taper a little. And now we just got to throw in the legs. So just looking at the way his legs look. Okay, so I got to remember he's sort of like a cat and or dog, where the feet are actually pretty long. Like, the thing I never realized about cat is their feet are huge. They just walk on their toes. So that's the funny thing about them. Hey, what's up? Like I said, if you got questions, if you need to go Catalyst Black, I can always go. This is just some of the art stuff that I do. This is my new image that I'm setting up for. Oh wow, I didn't know that about his toes. For some art that I'm just doing for Catalyst Black. Whenever I do Catalyst Black pieces too, they're always painted. They're never actually like more in traditional style where I would then put ink and then color. I always do them through paintings. I just kind of like that look for them. And the idea that I'm using for Sunder's feet is based on my dog's pads. She has like pads on her feet like that, so I'm kind of shooting for that kind of look for Sunder too. And what's funny about is too, this Sunder, yeah, I'm gonna keep it like this, but originally I wasn't gonna show his full body. But as I've been working on the picture, it just makes more sense that his full body does show. And then we're gonna set up the fur on his arms. It's just that I want to get back a little bit into drawing too. And it's also, I'm waiting for some kind of update on Catalyst Black, because it's this patch is tough for me. And the reason I figured out why playing 0.7 is tough, it plays a lot like my least favorite build in 0.6 that I was running. That's Full Seeker, and I hate the way that build plays. And 0.7 is literally every build plays like my least favorite build from 0.6. Your primary weapon is super, was the primary weapon in my least favorite build is super weak. So it's like not fun to play at all. So, and what happened is my game was very heavy focused. My heavy had to do most of the work, and my primary was there for cleanup. How do you get? Yeah, infinite premium currency is easy to get. The trick is it just takes forever for it to come in the shop. But yeah, it's not hard to get. Like, that's why I purposely always keep 200. I keep 200 marks in play for myself, because there's no other way for us to generate more primary currency. Like, if there was a chance, if there was a way for us to put money in, yeah, I would always be leaving my marks at around 500. Like, even if I didn't have money at the time, I would just try to put in 500 marks there and let it sit. So every once in a while, when those 750 deal comes out, or those 200 for 400 deal comes out, I'd be able to get them right away. Yeah, that part's simple. That's not even a hard concept. It's something that I use. That's how I actually had money to get my Mutiny song and a lot of the other things. Yeah, it's cool. I think it should stay as hard as it is to get. I mean, for beta testing, I wish it was easier to get, but it can't be something that's super easy. And that's not gonna happen. Um, I'm a decent artist, but I don't think I'm in that level. I think Genix is actually even better to me when it comes to that. I'm okay. Like, the way I always see my art is decent, and I'm more of a comic book guy. But I mean, it would be nice to be able to do like design work for either gaming companies or even stuff like that. I do design for comic book characters and stuff like that all the time. I create my own designs for my stuff. I mean, like you said, I can try. I don't see me getting in, but yeah, I can try. You know what it is though? It's I'm a bit realistic with how easy things are to do, versus the reality of what can be achieved. I understand the concept. I understand people be like, "Oh, you're really good." Yeah, I see people who are even better, and they're not even in that situation. It's just like I said, it'd be cool, but I don't know. I don't know if that's gonna be if that's a realistic goal. And like I said, it's getting better over time. I also got to finish off my game book too. I actually wrote the first 2 pages of it. Only 30 pages to go. And what I mean by a game book is, if you guys ever played Choose Your Own Adventure or interactive fiction, that's kind of the book that I'm building. And I have 31 pictures that I designed for Halloween art challenge. So I'm gonna try to finish that book off too. I might do Kickstarters for some of those things too, because or crowdfunding projects for some of those things, so I can actually get them out or get some money in while I'm creating them, because in the greater scheme of things, when I am making my own stuff, I don't get paid for that. That's why a lot of my stuff is on back burner, and a lot of the things that I work on are actually paid things for other people, and I work on those because I'm getting paid to do them. So it's more cost effective in that way. Helps me pay bills and stuff. I'm doing a lot more streaming because I'm trying to get into the affiliate program. Like, one of the metrics I'm trying to get up is to have more people watching streams. I need to get into at least 3 people per stream. That's what I got to get my metric up to. Sometimes I'll have 7, sometimes I'll have 8, sometimes I'll have, 1, 2, but I need to be like 3 consistent. And then from there, I might be able to then start getting subscribers and other stuff. But wow, that came out a lot better than I was expecting. That's neat. This is not what this was originally designed to do. I'm purposely going to warp it and deform it a little bit, because the next guy I'm bringing in, yeah, it's a little bit wider. So the next guy I'm bringing in, I'm going to have to shrink him down and bring him down a little bit too, because I don't want to cover all of Sunder. So let me see what we got. Yeah, I don't want Sunder to be that covered. There you go. So the character I'm going to be using this time is the character I call Ed. So he's the second guy I'm going to set up. And I'm just going to finish setting them up, and then I'll probably move into gameplay from there. But same concept. What we're looking to do is finish just breaking down his clothes and having the way he looks in there established. And then what I'm going to be doing is I don't like, the reason you see I do a lot of CB art is because I play CB a lot. And before I was in the beta, this is what I was doing. I was doing art streams on CB. I'm on CB stuff. So that's kind of why you'll see me do a lot more CB art. And also, I like Super Evil Megacorp. I don't play Clash of Clans, so that's why you don't see anything Clash of Clans. Even though I play games like Marvel, what do you call that thing? Marvel Realm of Champions. I won't do art for Marvel because Marvel have so many people doing art for them that I'm not going to bother being one of the millions of people doing the exact same thing. Like, yeah, I know more people might watch, Spider-Man art or whatever, but I don't really want to be drawing more Spider-Man art where there's hundreds of people doing that. So I don't really want to do that too. Marvel doesn't need any more free advertisement when they have $1 billion ad department who can do the same thing for them. So, and then they have millions of people who already will do the exact same thing. So yeah, that's why I don't. And I don't really draw stuff I don't play. I don't like Brawlhalla. I've played it multiple times, and every time I play it, I then remember why I don't like playing it. It's like Smash Brothers, but with less depth. That's my issue with it. Like Smash Brothers, the characters have, even though it's super simple, the characters have a lot of variation to them, even though they're super simple. In Brawlhalla, everyone has the same basic attack. Everyone has the same basic up strong. Everyone has the same basic this. A lot of their basics and stuff, and they have 2 different moves that are different from each character. That's boring as hell. Like, that's just not enough. Like, there needs to be... My reason I don't like playing Brawlhalla is there's no variation. is not enough variation in the gameplay. And I played a couple of times and I'm just like, eh. Everyone does the exact same thing. So it's just like, it's not fun to play to me. So that's why I don't like playing it. Yeah. He sets the nose up as triangles. And the thing I like about Ed Art's style is he sets noses up as triangles. Everything is pretty much very triangular already. And then it's just trying to work that into position. He draws a lot of his stuff in triangles. It's the thing I've been noticing about a lot of the artists that I like. They all have a lot more angular artwork than most people. There's a lot of angles in their art. And you'll see too, I'll drop stuff down that look really, really bad in my layout version of it. And when I start coloring and I start doing everything else, I fix up everything. By the time I get to the color section of this, the coloring of this, it ain't gonna look like that. And I always just never stop. I just keep going, and I'll put down something that might not look 100% of what I'm going for, but by the time I go into the color, this will look 100 times better than what you're seeing. This came out a lot better once I did that. So I think I'm going to be making him carry Mutiny Song. Is going to be the weapon he's going to be using. I might have one Mutiny Song. I don't draw the weapons if I already have them predefined, like Ed Art has. I have a content creator pack, so I don't really draw everything from scratch anymore when it comes to weapons and stuff like that. All right, and then we can just start dropping shoulders. The idea is the engine works across multiple platforms. They're already playing it on computers. I believe Macs though right now. And anything that can be done on a Mac, they already can port it to a PC. Simple way I know all this is because of what they did with Vainglory. So the VG client was created to originally run on, to be honest with you, to run on iOS, but they were probably generated on Macs. Then they were easily able to generate a PC client from what they have, and that's all because of the engine. The Evil Engine works is ubiquitous. That's also, if you've been hearing what Ed the Shred's been talking about too, is they're looking to do into cloud gaming also. So it might be on Steam, it might be on other platforms also. So it'll be very easy for them to push it once the game is at a level that they're comfortable with. So yeah, it's not gonna be hard to get there. It's just gonna take some time. Like they're only working on the two platforms that you see right now, which is iOS and Android. But yeah, it's not gonna be hard to get to PC. Because once, like I said, Surprise Birthday has explained it on a couple of streams. He goes, some people are playing it with mouse and keyboard, which would be really interesting. Some people are playing it with controllers, and some people are playing it straight on mobile devices. So again, I had answered you also in the content creator server. Until they do something like either a Super Evil account or a SEMC account, right now, no. Until that's done, there's no linking. They need to create an account that is MCMC based that could actually hold it. And I think what they should go with is, instead of doing it like game based itself, they should make it super evil based. A lot of game companies do that. Instead of you basically having it for said specific game, they have a general account for all of their games that they might be making. So I think they should go in that path, and it'll make it a little bit easier for them. And then when it goes to, if it goes to Android, if it goes to PC, or if it goes to anything, it works a lot better. Like one of the things that's like kind of killing this is because it's running through, what do you call this thing? It's running through Apple Game Center. Only my account is linked to Game Center. I can't link any of the other accounts that I created on my other devices to it, because as soon as I do, it'll overwrite it with my data. So that's the issue. Game Center doesn't allow for multiple connections. Game Center only allows for one account to be connected to one game, which kind of sucks. Like this is what happens with my kids when they were playing Dan the Man, and they were saving through Game Center, and we could not have our multiple progress saved. Like my son had lost all of his progress, and then I gave him my game, which was a little bit further behind, but it still was. I had finished the game and we had more progress going. I'm like, just share mine, and I stopped playing it so he could have his progress on it. It sucks. So until that's done, there's not much you can do. Android, because of the open nature of it, I'm Boosted said that it's super easy to copy your account files from one Android device to another, so you can actually use your stuff. But on Apple, not so much. Not that I've seen. Like games like Terraria does. Yeah, because it was SCMC had controlled the server and had you store your account on their servers. So that is the other problem. It's specifically connected to VG servers. That's why in the roadmap they were talking about was a way for you to export all your past progress, so they didn't have to handle it anymore. Because like right now, I had 100. I don't remember how many skins there were. I think I was missing, out of all of the skins, I was missing like 20 from the time I was playing VG. I was only missing 20 skins or so. And that's through either winning, grinding, or doing whatever it took to earn them, like one by one. So that's the issue. Most people can't access their levels, their elo, or any of that stuff because it's on CB servers, and there's no way to get that back right now. So that's one of the ideas that I think if they're gonna go into that, they shouldn't make it game based. They should make it super evil based. Like it's a super evil account. And then that way they can keep the stuff even if the game moves off or whatever. The only thing about that stuff too is if you could export your account and move it around, people are gonna hack and try to play with numbers and do trainers and do a lot of other stuff. So it's just the way people are. If there's a way to cheat, they always try to. But if it was just code, I'd like one. And I would think what they could do with the pass is don't make the pass make all things free. I think it could reduce the prices of things. It doesn't give you the boost right away, but it would give you a reduced price to pay for the boost. So if the boost was a $15 boost and I bought a pass for $7.99, then what I should get is the rest of the boost. I could get a discount where the boost would only cost me $5 more. So I'd save $3, but they'd still make money off it. Things like that. Same thing with skins. Instead of just saying, oh, you bought the boost, now you get a free skin, say, hey, the boost, you bought the pass. The pass can you can earn skins inside the pass, or you can get a discount for cosmetics or things like that. Like, to me, those would be kind of cool. because in the greater scheme of things, they need to always be making money off it. So those are the ideas that I have. That's what I would think. Like, instead of giving just rewards of XP, they should be giving rewards like shards, dust, and marks. Like, you give 3 or 4 marks, 5 marks, 2 marks, 1 mark sometimes. Like, it takes a long time to get 100, but the only way you can get free stuff is to get 200. But every once in a while, give marks. Every once in a while, give some dust. Every once in a while, give some shards. And besides the mods, it doesn't have to be 50, 60. You could give really low numbers, 5 here, 3 there, 10 here. But the thing is, 10 is super high. But then other times, you just do like smaller little amounts. That's all they got to do. That's kind of what's missing in their progression. It's not, you don't get enough while you play. And if you were getting just little bits of rewards, small little stuff besides just XP, it would keep people more engaged. To me, not getting anything for XP for level 20 items is a mistake. Only being able to get it through a boost is a mistake. Being able to only get it for a boost is a mistake. So there's a lot of stuff that I think they need to fix up to make it a little bit more viable, because it's just, I'm testing to see how it works, but at the same time, I can tell you it's frustrating. It's super frustrating to play this game at times. It's super frustrating. And it would be nice to be able to get things just somewhat easier, or to get more stuff. That's why people keep asking for more quests. That's why people keep asking for ways to earn quints. Like, one of the biggest things I think they don't do here, which is kind of weird, is they don't do the daily login bonus. Hey, you've logged in for a day. Here's what do you call it? 10 shards and whatever. And then as it progresses, you earn an epic mod. You earn a uncommon mod. Just give us more stuff. Yeah, I already put a actual a feedback in there where I said break up the shop into 6 sections. And what I mean by that is I have to scroll down for the shop. There's a mask section that always have one mask that changes every day randomly of a mask you don't own. So I'd have 3 masks that are rotating all the time, right? Or at least 2. If they don't want to put the Lumia Isia, that's fine with me. I don't care. But it'd be kind of cool if all the masks that I don't own rotate into the shop. Once a day, they keep rotating. 2 primaries that I don't own are always rotating into the shop. 1 heavy that I don't own is also rotating into the shop. 2 abilities I don't own, 1 trinket, 1 relic, 1 power. Always rotating. At least every day I get the option to get one of these things. The reason is that means once I can put money in the game, if I have disposable income, or I'm like, yo, I really want to get Hunter, or I really want to get something else, I can actually put some money in and know within a day or 2, or even in a week, those things are going to pop up really quick. But if you have only 5 slots, and 5 of those slots can be occupied by just mods, what's the point? Or 1 of those slots gets an item and 4 of them are occupied by mods. Like, that's a wasted day in that rotated shop. And I get that a lot. It's super sucky. So to me, give us more options in it, and every option has at least 1 thing that I can buy that I don't own. If I already have all the masks, I don't have a mask section. If I have all the trinkets, I don't have a trinket section. It's super easy, but it would definitely get way more things there for you to be able to buy. Then I said move the mods completely away from the loadout section, and then create a somewhere where I can get a uncommon mod for cheaper, a rare mod for 500, and then an epic mod for like 2,000. Then what you do is you allow me to also buy them as uncommon standard, uncommon plus, or uncommon plus plus, or rare standard, rare plus, or epic plus, like whatever you can do to boost them more. Let me be able to get them that way too. Let the shards have some weight. Let me do things with them. Give them as prizes. Then it makes sense for me to be breaking them down. I'm working to get 5,000 back again because I don't like spending them until I have 5,500. That's how I spend them. I don't spend them any faster than that because the thing is, it's 500 for a rare or better. 500 for a rare or better. 500 for a rare. It's completely boring. How about making me pay 3 times as much, 2,500, and I get to pick where I put that rare mod to. I want it to generate for, what do you call it? Mutiny Song. Or I have a bunch of trinkets that for some bizarre reason do not get rare mods. I would love to give everything that I have that just only has uncommon mods at least 1 rare. I'd pay more shards to do it. Why not? I don't know. Like, I mean, that's how, those are things I think that are super easy that they just have there. And you're just like, why? Like, I can't figure out the logic behind it. And that's why, like, a lot of people just get rid of it. But there's a lot of cool stuff you could do with it. It's just, you just got to give more options with it. The fact that it's only one thing you can do, I can't spend less to get uncommon. Like, imagine you said, hey, uncommon mods are cheaper. They're like 150 to get an uncommon mod. Yo, I'd sometimes for items that have no mods, I'd spend so much money just running 150 or 100, just trying to get uncommon mods for something I don't have. Imagine if you told me if I pay that same 500 that I would pay for a rare, I could assign it to something. So as soon as I get, like, one person put this piece of feedback, is like, how about when you buy an item from the shop, you also get an uncommon mod with it? My God. Yeah, because they're so hard to get where you want them. That's the problem. I don't understand why when you're buying the mod packs, it's not totally geared towards to your loadout. Even if I was getting it for my freaking Isia and my Sunder relics and powers, at least it would be 1 in 6 chance of getting it something I want versus 1 in every item that basically I own. That's the thing that doesn't make any sense. The loadout should be prioritized. It should be what you want the mods for. That's why I'm playing them. I'm not playing them because I don't want mods for them. So to me, when it's not prioritized, it's also another weird thing. Like, there's a bunch of little weird things about the game I don't understand, but those are like some things that like bother me. To pay 6 or 7 days with a item and not get a mod for it is crazy. To play for somebody to tell me that they went to level 10 before they got their first mod for an item, that's kind of nuts. I don't know if I don't think they can even push it through dust. It is a lot of things they should do. It's just, I just don't understand why things in your loadout are not prioritized, because you're not playing them because you don't want them. It's a work in progress. It's getting better. Like they said, one of my biggest sticking points is the fact that I still have duplicate items. It really bothers me, and the fact that they haven't been able to go through and clean up the dupes from people who have them. Like, because I don't think they happen as much. I don't think they happen anymore. But the people who have them, I've had it since 0.2. And it's been there, and it just sits there in my face, making my loadout count completely wrong. Like, whenever I do my loadout count, whatever number you see there, I have to keep subtracting 5. Because 5 of my XP are on duplicate items. 5 XPs on duplicate items. So, like, they really don't count towards the true XP count of what I have. 5 of my XPs on duplicate items. So 5 of what I have doesn't count. So it's really that's what to me is a little frustrating. Like, stuff like that, I'd love to get rid of it. It's the same reason, like, you don't know how heartbreaking it was when I was in the beta and I only had one mask and the next mask I drew was Sunder again. So until they created that quest that allowed you to get Isia, I've had Sunder forever. Twice. There's some people who have Knock twice. So it's rough. I don't think I've ever heard anybody say they have a double Isia, but I know there are people who have double Knock. I know people who have double Sunders. I'm one of them. But yeah, it's rough. Like, to me, I don't like chests because they remind me of the chests from Vainglory. Actually, the chests were okay. I just didn't like when they would say, "Oh, get the skin using keys. These chests over here will give you try to roll for the skin." Yeah, nah, that never again. Like, I am so unlucky with those random roll things. Why not just sell it for money, and I'd buy it because it'd be easier. Because I hate the chance one. Yeah, you make money off it, but I hate them so much that I will not spend a cent on it because I don't believe in them. And the reason I don't believe in them is every time I use random number generators to get items, I get zip. So that's why I don't believe in them at all. You'll never convince me that's a way for me to get an item. That's just not gonna happen. Damn, these guys are really barrel chested. So what I'm gonna just do here, just to fix my drawing, I'm gonna increase his proportion on his top. How am I missing his arm? That's weird. To be honest with you, that's not even a thing to me. I'm not really worried about how they move per se, as I'm more concerned about, like, they're definitely gonna be doing skins. It's just not something that they're working on right now, but it's definitely something that to me it is nice. And I keep telling them too. I've told it to Christian. I've said it to Cloakin. I've said it to folks. Ed the Shred. That's Christian. I said, seriously, if they ever did a VG character pack or VG skins for primals, VG skins for characters, like if they sold the Sora mask, the Sora sweater, the Sora vest, Sora pants, I'm telling you, a Sora set would sell like crazy. Everybody would buy it, because once you go into chain gun, like, even though I hate chain guns, I play chain guns just so I could rock the Sora look. I just do it. And I hate chain guns the way they play right now. I think they play horribly, but to play a Sora, hell yeah, I do it. And that's the funny part about it. Hell yeah, I do it. Would I buy it? Hell yeah, I would. And I don't have that much disposable income, and I would still. and it's just because it's the nostalgia of it. If they took Sunder and gave him a Casca skin, like one of the Candy Crow epics, I mean legendary skins, and put that on her, do you know how many people would go crazy and how many people would buy that skin and run and rock Sunder all game just to play Sunder as Kashka? I'm just telling you, it's easy money. It's not a free skin, and it would be a epic legendary skin. It would be somewhere around $15 to $20, and it'd be fair because one, it does not cost them anything. It doesn't make your gameplay different. Doesn't do anything. It's just that it'd be Kashka instead of Sunder. That's it. That's all it'd be. I could see the Red Lantern Kashka skin, and I could see the Candy Crow Legendary skin. That would be a freaking awesome skin to have as Sunder running around as. Boom. There you go. Sunder about to. So the idea that I'm going to have to do with this is I need a layer on purpose I'm going to add. And then what I want him to do is his eyes is he's gonna be looking up and be like, holy crap. All right, so I think I can make Sunder bigger too. And actually Sunder is below him, not above him. And then what's going on is I need to add in a shadow layer. Wrong one. This is the layer I want, and I'm just gonna add in grays. I need an airbrush to pull it off. Bigger airbrush. Yeah, so the whole idea is like the way I'm gonna be calling this is like Ed about to get stomped by Sunder. So yeah, I saw about the new Primal. I wish they'd give us a name already. Like get I'm nicknaming it the Bully. Some people are calling it the Minotaur, but yeah, I wish they'd give us a new name for it already. The Bully. Let me see. Yeah, all I have to do is throw in insert a photo. Ooh. I just need to get to Mutiny song. If I went Primal Light, it would probably be easier. I could just have to change his hands. Later. Constantly. These guns are interesting. That's gonna be one. I need to do this. I need to duplicate this anyway, so I don't have to bring in another one. So I need to be able to see it. Not uniform. I of gets it into his hand there, and let's see if I can pull this one off too. Rotate.